What is up, Bulldog Nation? Coming back to you the week before Christmas. Season 2, Episode 7, Episode 48 overall.
Yeah, 48.
Micah, what we got on our numbers for 48?
48, we got Pablo Sandoval,
Which
is a pitcher for...
he's like third baseman. Or
third baseman for a early career with the San Francisco Giants.
Right.
Yep.
I think they called him the Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, yeah. Torrey Hunter.
Yep.
With the Minnesota Twins.
Yep. Center fielder.
We got a Cardinal this week. Carlos Martinez, St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
48.
Carlos Martinez. I don't recall him.
Yeah, I think a little bit outfield, I think. Kind of.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe so.
Jacob DeGrom, New York
Oh,
Mets.
yeah. Yep. DeGrom did. Sure did.
Brad Lidge with the Astros.
Ooh, his career was effectively ended by the Cardinals. Pujols hit that home. He was 48. I thought he was like 54. Maybe he changed it to 54.
Who knows, man? This is confusing. So
yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers Brad Dupree.
Okay.
Carolina Panthers Shaq Thompson.
Okay.
Some of these I don't really know. So Nick Belro with the Seattle Seahawks and New York Jets.
Okay. Don't know them.
And interesting note: no prominent NBA player ever wore 48.
According to Micah's
According
source.
to Chat GPT, it could be Chat GMT or whatever. I don't know. It may be Micah's AI.
Okay, so you can fact check us on that because we're just getting it straight from the source. So I'm Matt Tanner.
I'm Micah Harris.
And we are your host for the Doghouse. Thanks for listening. This week before Christmas, we've got a special episode for you today. We got the big guy himself coming in.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 or ho cubed, as they say. We got the big guy coming in, and we are so happy that he agreed to come on. And
It's especially a busy time of year.
Oh, my gosh.
He's
it
fixing
was
to make that trip around the world in 48 hours or 24.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, I think Australia is almost a day ahead of us.
That's true. So you can kind of say 48 hours. So it gives him a little extra, get some breathing room.
Yeah.
And he's coming in to talk shop with us, and we're very excited that we caught him. And he's super busy, obviously, trying to get all his stops in before he has to do all that. And he's coming straight off a stop tonight, so he's going to be in full regalia, as they say. Yeah. We'll be happy to have that with us tonight.
When you probably listen to this, you may be able to watch him track him on NORAD. Is he?
That's true. That's very true. By the time we'll have this out. We're gonna have it out Sunday evening, December. But
shortly
20.
after that, he'll be tracking from North Pole.
He'll be ready to get rolling. The elves will be in full.
He's already been busy anyway.
Oh, he's
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he'll definitely be on his mid-season form, as they say. Let's give a shout out to our partners, Mercy Phoenix, who is again continue to be with us, and I know I've talked to Dee with Greengrass Guys and Jody just slightly, but I fully anticipate. I know he's willing to extend again for next year, and I fully anticipate Mercy Phoenix as well. And so we'll continue to have those partners. And if it's something you're interested in being a partner with us, give us a shout. Email doghouse.sykeston@gmail.com, or if you've got my number, send us a message on Facebook at the Doghouse, Instagram, TikTok, text me, email me, come out of the bank. Send me a message on my personal Facebook page. Send a message to Micah. Yeah, to whatever on his Micah's personal page. So if it's something you're interested in, we'll be happy to discuss it with you. We're happy for Mercy Phoenix to be our partner. Jody again sees our vision of what we're doing, as does Dee. They are terrific businessmen, terrific people for our town to be, or just to be a part of our town, and to be a part of our town and part of our business community. And they both are part of the JCs, which is an unbelievable organization. Mm-hmm. The bank, First State Community Bank, where I work, we are proud to be a partner with them during the rodeo. We sponsor Veterans Night, and I know I'm kind of getting off subject here, but that's just one of the things that they are a part of, that they're believe
about community.
They are about community and uplifting everybody. Again, rising tide lifts all boats, and that's what we are about as well. About uplifting things and talking about our town, promoting our town and our region. We've started. You'll see coming up. We're not abandoning Sykeston by any stretch. That's who we are. But you'll see us have some regional guests on here, and that's okay. We want to promote our whole region. And big news coming out of school this week.
Oh yeah! Congratulations, Andy.
Andy McGill is our new superintendent. He will be as of July 1. Yeah, Shannon is retiring, and who knows? She may be. I bet she'll be around. In some
capacity or something.
Some capacity, yeah. There'll be lots of opportunities for her. She won't slow down. She's got grandkids now, and she's put in her time. And so congratulations to her as well. She's been transformational. That's really a word that I can use, being on the Board of Education side, just transformational in what she's done with our district, and we're forever grateful. And we know Andy will continue the work and even continue to improve on all the things that Shannon started with our discipline and our academics, and our students obviously is the main focus. So we're very excited for that, and we are just humbled that Andy, wants to be here. Yeah, exactly. And then he applied and went through the process and all those things. So we're very ecstatic, and that's big news in the community. And if you see Andy, tell him congratulations. Obviously, thank Shannon for her time and her efforts here for sure. Shout outs to Luke. We're actually recording on Saturday morning. He's actually still asleep
for once.
Yep, he normally is. He has to work on Saturdays. He had the day off today, so we're gonna let him sleep in and try not to wake him up. Shout out to Erin. She actually given us time to do this, but she left, said she was going to go get her nails did. So
got to be able to play piano more.
Yeah, she and Luke are playing in a Christmas something or other, and she said her nails are clicking on the piano, so she's going to get all that fixed. So that's where she headed to. Justin, our general counsel, thanks for taking on that lucrative position, and we expect to see him actually coming up. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Deej. For keeping us abreast of all the things, and we'll talk about something Deej kept us abreast about last night. And shout out to Brian as well. Brian provides all the stats for for Bulldog Nation Network, powered by A-Corp Sports. Brian gives us those really after every game. He updates it basically the next morning, and so we have those stats readily available. We're able to have that and talk about it on the broadcast, and so we'll get to some games upcoming. Shout out to Tyler Anderson and our Doghouse plaque on the wall. Shout out to Twisted Arrow Woodworking, and we're very happy to be partnered with them as well. And before we forget, I'm going to hold this up to the camera, and it's not we got an iPad in here as our camera right now, and we're working on upgrading some of those things, but I'm holding this up. Glenda Wilburn, who works with me at First State Community Bank, she makes
we'll share it we'll get a picture of it and take it.
Yeah, she tagged me in a post, but we'll definitely put this out there. But she put this on my desk the other day. She takes half of an oyster shell, and she makes there's ornaments, and I don't know if you can see it. I'm holding it up by the little string right here, and she has
basically somehow put the Doghouse emblem in the shell.
Right. And it's like gold leafed on the edge of the shell and on the inside.
Very, very pretty.
Oh, it's awesome. And I don't know if that's paint on the inside.
Some kind of shellacker on top of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's very smooth.
It's slick or very smooth, like you said. And then the Doghouse podcast logo on the inside. And she makes all sorts of ornaments, and so it's a Christmas ornament. I know she's selling them at Lambert's. here in town. And if you want to get in touch with Glenda, you can reach out to her on Facebook or holler at her at the bank or whatever. And she's making those. I'm sure they're for any occasion, not just. And I don't know. I know this is a Christmas ornament. I'm sure she probably makes them for other things as well. So give her a shout out. We appreciate her giving that to us. And while you're at it, like, follow, share the Doghouse on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and now YouTube. And we're slowly uploading videos. Please be patient with me. I'm trying to get those done. I hit a snag. I don't know what's going on. I was trying to.
You still trying to get Pastor John to? Yeah,
I got his ready, and it only uploads an hour, and I don't know what the heck's going on with it. Or like an hour and 5 minutes. I've obviously done something to mess it up. Then I was trying to get Ricky Johnson's ready, and the audio and video won't sync. So I'm struggling right now. I got to get Tucker Cheney over here to help me. He's our new IT guy. Tech guy.
We got to get him down here first.
That's right. Well, he works down here, and I've just got to coordinate with him to get him where he can come by and just take a look at it. So I'm going to try to do that. I don't know what the heck I've done. Obviously, my novice skills have jacked up something.
You got further than I could.
So I really want to get those out there, and I'm struggling right now. So anyway, just please be patient with us. Again, you can catch all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, and a host of others. And you can catch it on our Buzzsprout feed, or the doghouse.buzzsprout.com, which is our website. There's an embedded player on there, and then I typically put the embedded player, a link to it, on our Facebook page when we announce that the episode is dropped, and you can click on that. And quick fan shout out. I saw Wayman Sims this week at the junior high basketball game. He was officiating the game, and he stopped by and he's like, "Hey man, I love the podcast. Thanks for doing it." He said, "I caught Minner the other day. He's awesome." And so
he works with Minner, don't he? Is he doing school cafeteria over there? I think.
Don't know.
I know Minner's always talking about he cooks something.
Well, that is true. Probably so. I'm not exactly sure. I know Wayman does, or he used to do some catering and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really, really good food. And so I'm not sure what capacity, but I know he's officiating basketball too.
Yeah, he got some wings that are good.
So he stopped by and chatted for just a second between a quarter or halftime or something. We just sat there and talked for just a minute. But Wayman, thanks for listening, man. We appreciate you. Give us a like, share, retweet, comment, review, all those things on those. And so now we'll get into the aforementioned.
Busy week.
We had a busy week for the Dogs. Came out of the SEMO Conference tournament. Got a good win, and the Dogs were 6-0 and coming into it sort of went under the radar a little bit with folks that don't follow high school basketball a lot. But Hayti, holy cow.
They're athletic. Very athletic.
And they're a Class 2 team. And, man, we talked about this before, Class 2 in this area.
When we had Dave and Andrew on, we talked about
Class 2 is stacked. I mean, Bernie, Hayti.
I think how many of them it showed? It was like 4 or 5 from the area that were ranked in top 10.
Right. Bernie, Hayti,
it's Charleston, and
Puxico. Thought there was one more in there too, and I apologize if I forget. But
is it Malden or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, Malden might have been ranked, but but Hayti came in and they got a big, a 6'5", strong, athletic. And they've got the Webb kid, and they've got 3 or 4 other kids that can shoot it. And the Dogs jumped out on them pretty quick. I think I mentioned on the broadcast, and then hearing after, someone heard their kids kind of walking around after, during the JV game or whatever, and like, man, this is like a college arena or something. And so I thought that might have, again, it didn't scare them. Don't get me wrong when I'm not saying scared them, but it might have. Just something different. It's a new environment. You gotta understand the way the Fieldhouse is, and sometimes the backdrops you can't get your depth perception very good. And so They only scored 10 points in that first quarter, but they figured it out. They're a really good team, and man, they're going to be some matchup problems.
They were definitely rebound, man. They were.
Oh man,
they were just.
Yeah, they get after it, and they're physical. They're fast. Man, their guards are fast, and so we had I won't say breakout, but we had a unbelievable performance by Markwell that night. Had 31, several dunks, and just the way he handled the ball, passed, was rebounded as well, just did everything. And so Dogs came out on top. They were moved to 7-0, and we moved to Notre Dame, which was a matchup of a first round opponent that the Dogs had in SEMO Conference tournament, and I think that game was aptly described as a trap game.
The first half was.
Yeah, where what I mean by that, sometimes the team you expect to come in.
Well, when you come out and beat a team by 30 or so the week before, you kind of sometimes fall into the trap of thinking, well, they're not going to be that hard.
Right.
They're not going to take the night off.
Exactly. And Coach Hollifield, I know I witnessed practice, was absolutely we're going to refuse to allow his team to do that. And Notre Dame played very well in the first half.
I'll tell you what, last night I think the worst thing could have happened to them was halftime.
We talked about that at the game. Yeah, Mike and I and Joseph, Aaron's brother, Joseph Baldwin, went with us last night. And worst thing you're right, the worst thing that happened to them was halftime, because the Dogs came out, as they say, with their hair on fire.
And I think their legs were dragging.
I think they were a little gassed, and in particular, one person's hair was on fire last night.
Oh my goodness! Oh my!
Kobe Thomas set a school record for 10 3-pointers in one game.
The record was previous Dominic Dye.
Dominic Dye's
was 9, and then Will had it before Dominic.
He had it at 8. That's right. We thought it was 10 tied it, and it was going to be 11, but Derek. I won't second guess Derek. Absolutely not. He said 9, or he said 10's the record, and so you can take it to the bank. 10's the record.
Yeah. If they thought it was 11, I'm sure Kobe would have got one more. I mean,
yeah,
because he probably didn't play this fourth quarter.
He did not play the fourth quarter and have 42 points, and just absolutely went off.
At most of the game, he was leading Notre Dame.
He had 42, and they scored their 45th point with like 5 seconds left to go, or 40. I mean, he led them the entire game
up until like the very last.
Yeah,
minute.
When it was, mop up time, so to speak, and just sort of try not to foul and keep the clock running, sort of thing. So, it was an unbelievable performance, just scintillating. And I'll tell you the greatest thing about it, or one of the greatest things, is that the team recognized it, and what they were finding him.
Yeah, they did. They were hitting him. I mean, like it would dribble penetration, kick to him, or on a fast break, he'd just like he'd want to do, go to the corner. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And he'd knock it down.
I asked him after the game, how big did the basket look, and I made my hand sort of in a big circle, and he said, bigger. I mean, you just knew that night when
he probably thought he was looking at Justin's 85-inch TV there.
Exactly, and you could tell he was in the moment. He was in the zone, as they say. I'm sure he wasn't thinking anything. He was just catching it and shooting
having fun.
Having fun.
That's one thing I liked. Everybody looked like they were just having fun.
Had a blast. The team
they were respectful. I mean, like
no. They weren't in anybody's face or doing anything like that. As far as but he just on fire.
Yeah.
And it was as John Hobson said after the game, might be the greatest quarter in high school basketball history.
Somebody said, we went on like a 35-3 run?
That's exactly what it was in the third quarter, 35-3 run. We were up, it was 36-30 at half, and it was 71-33 at the end of.
Man.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I mean, like, we had 70 points. He had 42 of them, so. And here the thing is, earlier in the week, Marquell had 31.
Marquell had 31 against them. That's right. That's exactly
I mean,
right. So
so
it's a two-headed
pick your
monster.
poison.
Pick your poison, and you try to shut them down. I'm telling you,
There's others.
Ben can score. Jaharis
He
can
had a
score.
big one last night. Like big shot Ben.
As you said, big shot Ben hit one right at the end of the first quarter when it went through the net as a buzzer
And it was very
sounder.
timely because, man, we were
We were kind of reeling a
Yeah,
little bit. We
yeah.
couldn't get some shots to go early. And Coach Hollifield said it. I talked to him, I don't know, one day earlier this week or last week and talked about this game. And he said, I can assure you we're not going to shoot it that hot right out of the box.
No, man.
And, I mean, when we played them here, we hit 6 or 7 threes in a row to start the game. And before you know it, we had 20 points and about 2 minutes had gone off the clock.
Right.
And so
you had to hit. I'll be honest with you, had to be a pure shooter last night to hit on that far end down there.
Yeah.
By the Notre Dame side.
I thought that rim was loose.
Yeah, but that sucker fall almost halfway down to the ground
But it was
and dumped the ball off.
yeah. But Kobe filled it up. So the Dogs are now 8-0 in the season. Again, the rankings came out earlier this week. The Dogs are ranked third in Class 5 behind Vianney and Webster Groves. Mm-hmm. So now we'll turn our attention to Monday night.
It's a big game. People come because
You better get there early
it's going to be
because it's it's not a traditional Tuesday or Friday. It's after Christmas, or excuse me, it's before Christmas, before the Christmas tournament start. I expect a big crowd.
And
in
I
the
will tell you,
Fieldhouse.
Puxico believes they'll win.
I do. Yeah, they do.
Not only them, their fans believe that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They do, and they think that. I mean, Puxico, and we say it teasingly in a good way. The last person out at the Puxico is going to turn the light off.
That's true.
I mean, because they will bring a big fan base.
They will, and they'll be there early.
They will be there early. This one's a triple header. This is a freshman, JV, and varsity. So freshman action tips off at 4:30. JV will start at 6. Let's see. Do I got that right? Yeah, 4:30, 6, and 7:30. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So an hour and a half between the games. And now I would say, well, I was going to say JV might start early, but they'll probably have different officials, so it probably won't. JV will probably start at 6, one way or the other. But I know there's a freshman game at 4:30 again.
I know I got to eat before I come. So.
Well, I'll probably be there about 2. So, no, I won't be there that early. But I will be there in plenty of time to catch all 3 games. So
I don't get off till 5, so
it's going to be tough for you. Tough for you to catch the first half of the freshman game. So, the Dogs. I think the thing about another reason you called it the trap game, Notre Dame game, is that I know the kids are looking to this game because Puxico beat the Dogs in the summer at a Rib City, Dillon, Dexter, and they won. They won fair and square. They beat us. There was nothing cheap about it, or there's no excuses. They won, and I think the Dogs got something else on their mind, and that was what Coach was worried about, is looking past Notre Dame. Because Notre Dame, listen, they're a good team. You can't just look past them and just show and go, as they say. You got to prepare, and Coach was concerned about that and didn't want to give up, a game and lose, and all of a sudden you lose that game, and the team starts reeling. You lose Puxico, you lose 2 in a row. Next thing you know, we go into the Christmas tournament down, and
not only that, I mean, like Puxico has state championship on their mind. I mean,
of course,
and they want to win every game, and that's why they're scheduling Sykeston.
Yes, and so they're thinking they're going to come in here and knock us off, and I know the kids know this, and I expect a barn burner of a game. I really do. I think they're going to be ready. I think we're going to be ready. I think you'll see a crazy venue, a crazy night. It's going to be action-packed because they like to get up and down.
I was thinking, are they an up and down team?
They are. And now, one thing that I think is in our favor, we have, in my opinion, I haven't seen them play, but it's my opinion that we have more depth than them. And that's, now, in Class 2, it's not typically a problem for them. And I'm not saying they don't have any depth. I'm just saying I think we have more. And I think if you looked at that side by side comparison, I think we would get sort of the check mark, so to speak. With
we've got
with
some
depth.
valuable. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that come off the bench that are.
Play just terrific.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I won't be surprised that Sean Cole's one of them people that put up 20 or 30.
Absolutely.
Maybe not Monday night, but
right.
In some games this year he will do.
Yes, absolutely. Sean can flat get the ball in the hole. I agree with you, and he can shoot it, and he can do it in a host of ways, as far as from his defense to being able to shoot and get to the rim. And so, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me him either. But the Bulldogs have a big game Monday night, and I expect the Fieldhouse to be packed, because this is 2 state-ranked teams. I know IQ Hoops said they were going to be there for the game. Of course, that guy's from Puxico.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm. That's what someone told me. And so he does a great job. You know what? We got to get him on here.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched.
I don't know the young man. We really have. It's really, really well done. Heck, maybe I'll find out how he does it and get some tips from him to get this stuff out there. But I just gave myself a great idea, Micah.
Hey, that's how it happens.
He's. I don't know. I know some people that know him and have talked to him. Maybe I can introduce myself sometime. I'll have to. He films while I'm doing the game, so it's hard to, you know what I mean? I'm up on the perch.
And you don't know exactly who he is, so you can't pick him out of a crowd.
Exactly. I guess one way I could do it would be the guy with the camera, right?
Well, there's usually tons of guys with cameras. We know who about half of them are. I mean,
right. I mean, I'll have to.
Jason does a good job. Daniel Bird does a good job with putting pictures.
Well, that's true. That's true. Oh, no, they do a great job.
Yeah,
those guys. Better get them on here. We need to talk to them about that stuff, too.
Yeah.
They capture the games behind the game, right?
Yeah.
And so, hey, I'm giving myself some, or we're giving ourselves some ideas.
Yeah.
Got to get them.
I thought about Jason last night. I mean, like I just kind of.
Yeah.
I was talking to him a little bit, and I was like, you know what? He gets a different perspective of it.
He does,
and he's trying to get some stuff out there. I mean, make Bulldogs. I mean, I forget what his
athletics behind the lens, or athletes through the lens, or something like something like that. Yeah, and Mr. Jackie.
Yeah,
Mr. Jackie Calvert. You know, they all get perspectives of the Bulldogs, football, basketball, baseball, whatever they're doing. The girls, wrestling, all the things, volleyball. They get those perspectives and put them out there, and they're really cool pictures. And they do a great job.
They do. I mean, and I think most of those are available to. I mean, can they purchase them like parents?
I know you can from Daniel. I'm sure you can from Jason. I don't want to speak to that because I don't know.
I don't know. Can you? I mean, I don't know. If, like, you may want to say, you may be able to say, like, I'd like to get pictures of my kid. Or,
I'm confident they'll do that.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you can buy them.
Yeah,
because at that point, I guess it's their. I don't know how all that happens. Yeah. I don't know all the legalities and all.
But I'm just saying, if you want some pictures of your kids that are playing a sport, mention it. I think they'll come and. I mean.
Oh, you mean not being Bulldogs?
Well, I mean, like
if your kid plays,
or even Bulldogs or any of it, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And they may target like a certain player.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I know they do. I know Jason and Daniel, or at least I know Jason does. I think Daniel does like senior pictures and all that stuff too. Yeah. So, shout out to them. Give them a call. Look them up on Facebook, and they'll be happy to take care of you. And so, you guys just hang tight with us. We'll be right back again with the magic of editing. Mm-hmm. We'll be back with the big guy himself. And hopefully Micah and I are not on the naughty list. Hopefully we're on the nice list this year.
Hopefully.
I'm
sure.
It's day to day for me.
Yeah. I'm iffy. Depends on what I'm doing. If I stub my toe or not.
Catch me at a ball game. It just depends. I might not be on the nice list.
Yeah. Joseph was.
He said the whole time he was just going to do like this, had his finger pointing at me. I started yelling at the officials.
Who was it? The mint that sat behind us last night. He's like, I never got a chance to kick Mac Tanner out of the ball game. I said he had a chance, but he just probably didn't take it.
That's right. He was Coach DeMint, Jerry DeMint, is now, from what I understand, he's kind of running that SIBO organization, Southeast Basketball Officials, and he and I think someone told me Randy Winston, and so he's he's sort of the admin part of that, and he's not calling anymore. And so he said, one of my biggest regrets was not being able to throw you out. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry I made your bucket list, I guess. So, again, just hang with us, and we'll be right back with our guest this week with the big guy, and we'll give us just a few minutes. We are back after the break, after the magic of editing, and we are back with our guest now, Micah. This is as big a guest as we've ever had.
Biggest guest that we ever, yeah. It's also the first time we ever had a father-son.
That's true. That is true. It is our first father-son. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but let's. I want to say this disclaimer as we talked about, and I will have it when I share this episode. This is kid friendly, of course. We are it might get a little PG every once in a while, but in general, it's kid friendly. But if you have a child that is a believer, we're going to be talking about other things besides Santa, and so we don't want you call or, hey, you ruined it for my kid. So that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to talk about Santa, and we're talking about the person as well. So we just wanted to mention that if you have a child with you while you're listening, it might be something that you want to turn off and come back to at a later time. So with that disclaimer, we're going to introduce our special guest today. On the Doghouse, we talk a lot about what makes a community strong, and sometimes that strength shows up in unexpected ways. Our guest today is Rod Anderson, better known to many as Santa Rod. From classrooms to living rooms, Rod has made it his mission to bring joy, hope, and connection to our community, one visit at a time. This isn't just about a costume. It's about presence, purpose, and service. Let's welcome Santa Rod to the Doghouse.
Welcome to the Doghouse.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And for just going to say,
you might hear some bells.
Right on cue. There he is. And when we were waiting on Santa to come in, I knew he was here. I could hear him coming up the steps. Oh, yeah. And so we
got Santa and the Grinch today.
That is true. When we get the video out, I've actually got one uploading.
Across the room. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There. Hey, am I going to have to separate you two?
No, we're good.
I think we're good.
My heart's
good
changed
for a little bit.
His heart has changed. That's right. That's right.
Good for you.
So we're here, and we're going to have all kinds of stories about Christmas, about kids, about the magic, again, not just the magic of the season and the hope that it's a special thing that Rod does for these kids and
families.
Families, and just telling us the stories.
Community, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a big deal, and again, this just goes along with what we do so well, and we want to highlight these things, and this is a big deal. And you know what? I was thinking about this earlier when we talked about this, but this definitely has got to be an annual thing for Santa. Yeah. We got to have Santa on.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. We got to have Santa on.
I think so.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
So, without further ado, I know I sent you questions and notes and this or that and the other, and so
I got one thing to start off.
Knock it out of the park.
Well, before we even get any farther, I want to wish Mr. Bill a happy heavenly birthday today. So,
oh my gosh! Thanks for mentioning that, man.
You know, the first thing this morning.
Oh my gosh!
I still got both his accounts on my Facebook, which is fine.
But both? Have you seen both? There's about 14 of them.
Have you seen TW Festivus?
Oh my gosh! He goes, Mr. Bill. He goes, I've taken I've accepted all the requests that you put.
That's what it said. I did too.
And he's like, when I wish you happy birthday, you respond to all of them.
Yeah, that's what I said. He answered them all. Because I never knew which one was what.
No.
I don't think you knew which one was.
But
thank you for mentioning that.
He is missed, definitely. So
I appreciate that.
We just ate some birthday cake for him.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, we talked about that today. It's my dad's birthday, and he would have been 79 today. Yep. Wow. Thank you for mentioning that. So. For those that don't know him, and you probably do know, like everybody here in town, we've known Rod our whole life. But when did this start? What sort of gave you this idea? Kind of all that. How did all that start?
Well, thinking about this question, It's a couple of two times, which is kind of funny to answer it that way. But we had a rough year. Some friends of ours had a rough year. I had in about a 2-year span that had lost some spouses from my church, and a lot of people from my mom's that run around with my mom that were getting to where they can't get out, can't do things. And my mom always made banana nut bread.
Oh yeah.
And, so I said, hey, make me a bunch of loaves, and I'll just take them, And that's kind of how the first part started. That was 1 year, and just kind of did it that way.
Did you have? Were you all?
Duded
it up and all that stuff.
It was just an old cheap suit compared to what I got now. But, but still, the meaning and everything,
of course,
was there.
Of course,
and the thought of it was there. Most of them cried, when I walk in the door, and but then the second part of that, it was just kind of, that was just 1 year, kind of did that, and then a year or two later, my friend Tim Graham calls me. And he works at Associated Electric in New Madrid, and they do a program where the associates can put in a fund, to buy presents, and then the company matches it up to a certain point or whatever. And they were out, and they have a big party every year. And so he says, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be sad. And he said, you got a white beard, And I said, well, okay. And I said, where are you going to do it? He said, we're going to do it at the movie theater. And that was when it was fairly new. And
here in town?
Yeah, here in town. He said they were watching Frozen 2, I think is what it was. Just exclusively them.
Oh.
And
the kids you're talking about?
Kids, I'm sorry. Right. Kids were all in there watching. And then all their presents were pre-wrapped and named and everything. Well, they put me in that little glass room. I don't know if you've ever been in there. In the corner, there's a glass room that's kind of...
Like in the lobby?
In the lobby, yeah. And, I had no clue. This was my very first thing really with kids. And so they come running out, and, they're seeing me, they're freaking out. And I didn't look half as good as I do now.
Right.
Really. But, man, I was hooked. I'm like, this is so cool.
Yep.
And so that's kind of how that got started.
Now, that's been, how long, so?
Well, technically... 7 years.
Six, seven.
Don't even start with that.
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Let's do that. Yeah. We've had. It's around 7 years, I guess. Okay. You'd say, probably.
Okay.
COVID. The year that I had COVID.
You got COVID?
I got COVID.
Okay.
Around Thanksgiving time.
Yep.
So I was letting them know, I'm not doing it. Yeah. This year, I'm not going to take a chance, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it that way. I didn't even have my beard that year, so I did a fake beard,
Okay.
And, for downtown for just a little thing.
Okay. Well, that's become. You mentioned downtown. That's become. When we were talking about this before, that has become quite the deal.
That's a big deal. It's
that was I was telling you, this was
dashing through downtown and the lighting.
Yeah. Well, and
don't y'all start with the?
We have an early open house in November.
Yes,
and that's this year was the busiest I've ever been.
Really,
I can remember a couple of years ago, and it was cold.
Well, they had the reindeer down there this year.
Yes, well, they have the last 2 years. Last year, it was kind of people just didn't respond like we thought they would. Mm-hmm. But I can remember 2-3 years ago. It was freezing rain, and I sat out there 3 hours underneath. I was fine. I was
on the band deal or whatever,
and I was protected, with weather-wise. Just it wasn't like sleeting or nothing, but it was kind of a freezing rain, a little cold, and it was cold. Mm-hmm. I had 3 kids in 3 hours.
Oh, geez.
So.
Well, that probably kept.
I was lonely, a little bit out there.
Yeah, I imagine.
But this year. Even last year, there's people in line when I get there. And that's awesome. That's what we want to see.
And you mean for the open house thing?
To see Santa, yeah.
Right, but at the open house.
That's the weekend after, usually the weekend after Halloween, isn't it?
It's that first Friday after Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first Friday in November.
So it was a week. It was a week this year because Halloween was on Friday. So,
Yep.
The week after.
Yep. And that's that. And then, like we said, the downtown deal.
The lighting, the little village, and
the village and they call it Santa's Village, and it's got little things from around the town. So so it's supposed to represent. So, and then the parade follows. The lighting.
And the Christmas tree and the lighting of the tree, right? Is that before the parade? Or
that's before the parade.
Yeah.
That's usually at 6, and then the parade's at 7. 6, 7. Here we go. Yeah.
He said he wasn't going to do that tonight.
I told you how many times I've heard that this year.
Oh, my gosh.
It's too many.
So you go to schools, civic organizations. You came by our Santa, came by our
bank,
our event at the bank. Yeah. Well, and we have breakfast with Santa. As well.
So you do nursing homes and stuff like that too, or?
Yeah, I do some. In the past, I'd done some, but with the COVID and it's kind of changed everything a little bit. So I'm real leery. If I'm got anything or whatever, I don't want to give it blessed to anybody. But
I hope you stock up on.
I do. I start taking vitamins. I mean, like really hard.
Yeah.
My wife said, "Good. How many pills are you going to take?" I'm like, "Well, that's what I got to do." I mean,
you're around a petri dish. Basically.
I am pretty much. My dad, God bless his soul. He was.
I've heard you've told me this story. I know exactly where it's going.
Since the age of 18, he took. I mean, he went to World War II at 18, and his mother, he was skinny as a beanpole, because back then you didn't get to go to McDonald's if you didn't like what you were getting.
You worked all day too.
You ate what was on the table, or you didn't eat.
Yeah, I was going to say you had two choices: take it or leave it.
Yes. And he didn't like beans, and well, during the Depression and all that, I mean that's about all they had.
I'm fixing to eat beans tomorrow night.
That's right.
But he didn't even. Up to his dying day, he did not eat beans, and but he was a vitamin guy.
Yep.
And but back to when my grandma would fatten him up, she put creamer and milk in everything before he went to war. I mean, she was trying to fatten him up as big as she could. But anyway, and I think that helped in his bones. And then eventually, he did vitamins his whole life.
Yep.
And when he died at 91, he had every tooth in his head. So,
oh my!
Yeah, and he had knee replacement. I told you, he was a bionic man. He had
that's right.
Both knees replaced. One at 70, the other one at 90.
That's unbelievable.
And the surgeon comes out and says that was the toughest 90-year-old I've ever had to drill in. I had to tell him the story.
Oh yeah,
how it goes. But.
So you take
I take B12.
Oh yeah.
I take zinc.
Well.
A lot of vitamin C, and it typically works. Knock on wood.
Uh-huh.
This year, the schools, and they can't help it. I'm glad to be their Santa. I mean, I'll never deny that. I love it, and I hope they keep me as long as they want me. But I do a lot of them right in a row.
Oh yeah.
So when the principals get their calendars in July, ding 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 ding, my phone just blows up because everybody's setting their days. So it's pretty cool. But 1 week I had Monday SCTC, Tuesday was Wing, Thursday was Southeast, and then I come around to the kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then kindergarten is a blast.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet.
But it's chaos. It's control. I call it controlled chaos.
Jenny does a great. She and Sarah do a great job.
Good over there.
Oh yeah.
And the first year, I had no clue. I'm just ready to go be Santa like I am at the other schools. And there's people everywhere, and it's just a machine. You got people coming in, somebody else got them checking in, some over here, and they throw them on me, and another teacher throws them off.
Oh my gosh!
And I think one year
is it in the new activity center, or do you do it in the cafeteria?
In the
okay.
cafeteria.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Miss Miles usually is the one that takes the pictures. And I think one year she told me 338. Something like that.
They didn't even know they had 300 kids.
Yeah. Well, they just take them, and making sure somebody's not looking. And most of them got more than one or two kids, and they bring everybody, which is great.
Yep.
Everybody wants to be in that picture. But,
oh my God!
But this year they got me, and I had to cancel Lee Hunter, and that's the first thing it crushed me.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it really did. I hated to make that call, but
did you get to make it up?
No. Oh. Well, I give them that option. I had an open date. I keep some here and there until I get those done.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
But no, they were. They wanted to move on because they had sickness that day too. I think
Lee Hunter
had 20. I think go home or something like that.
Lee Hunter we were at a school board meeting the other night, and they were talking about somebody there, one of the other board members, and said that maybe they had 20% of their kids out or something. I mean, so that's probably 80 kids or something like that. Yeah, so they've had a bunch of, it's been the flu, and there's a different strain this year is what somebody said, a flu A or whatever.
So they did, I mean, I gave them a day's notice basically so they could find, I probably could have done it. That the Wednesday was the day that I was really sick, and they were Thursday.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to, I got the Z-Pack in me, went and saw my doc. I do that every year. She's like, yeah, at the time. So she gives me my Z-Pack and gets me a little steroids, give me a little boost to get going, and plus the vitamins, everything else. But yeah, it was, it bothered me because I couldn't do it.
Well, sure.
But I couldn't help it. I mean, it was just a point. Teresa's like, well, you quit worrying about it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's just me. I want to hit everything.
Of course. So how many would you say you do in a season, so to speak?
In a season, including my home visits and appearances and everything. Last year, I was close to 100, and I made myself. I'm not doing that this year. It really, really wore me down.
I can imagine.
You can tell my voice is kind of low tonight. But,
Did you start usually like the week before Thanksgiving?
I start,
you start.
I do photos November 1st. Mm-hmm. This was an odd year because I had usually I don't do a public appearances. I just do a lot of photo stuff in November. Mm-hmm. But somebody hit me up early. They were having a special event with some veteran stuff and all that. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And it was the day after Halloween.
What?
So the kids are coming. It's November 1st. So the kids are coming to sit in my lap. I'm like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And I said, hey, did you get a lot of candy last night? But basically is what to talk about it.
Right.
And then we'd go into, hey, Christmas is coming, and are you getting ready? And, just conversation with them. And
the last couple of years has been a short time between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And that's hard on Santa. I'm telling you. It's just like off to the races. Yeah. It just takes off.
Barely like 3 weeks of school when you come back.
Oh, yeah, and them too. And that's what I said. Everything's kind of crammed together and to get everything done. But, yeah, absolutely.
So what's the difference? You see a lot of kids like at schools and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What's the main difference between that and like a home visit?
The school thing is, of course, mostly it's organized, and I've got control, but not a lot. I get very little time with them. Most time it's like, and we're on to the next one. Yeah, and they want to talk, and there's tons of kids because most of them are trying to get done in an hour and a half or whatever, and I get that. The home visit, just like last night, I did one in East Prairie. I went in the kid's room. He wanted to show me his room, and and I'm a giant next to these kids. I've never been tall in my life, but I am to them.
Oh yeah,
and it's just it's a cool thing that they want to take me to their world.
Mm-hmm.
And
see the sparkle in their eye.
Oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
And just seeing their face, like I said, we were talking earlier. It's like I'd love to you to see what I see.
Oh, that's what it was. It's right before you got here.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, man, you need to get a GoPro. And if you have to blur some kids out, you could do that.
Just to see what I see.
Yeah.
Is
just the smiles or whatever when they come up.
Everything is.
Yeah. I know Maggie Jo loved him this year.
Oh, my gosh. And he was at the bank and gave away these big old.
She is obsessed with peppermint.
That's what Becky said. Yeah.
She still talks about it.
It's weird because it kind of goes in cycles. Because like when I first started, everybody liked peppermint. Now they like those. God, I can't think. They're kind of rainbow.
Oh, they're like the sweet tart.
Sweet tarts. Yeah, sweet tarts. And I'm like, okay, And I tried chocolates one year. Well, they all melted in my bag. And
well, she likes both, all of them.
They were like little coins, Mm-hmm.
Don't you have some coins, like some actual coins?
I give I'll take that back. I tried to give a very nice coin on my first timers, like new customers to me or whatever. I don't give them to them every year.
Yeah, I see.
They're like $10 a piece.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're very nice.
Okay.
And I try to mix them up. And I've got a guy that's a Santa. I guess you'd say he's a Santa too, and he's in Springfield. I haven't met up with him, but I talked to him quite a bit, and he sells Santa supplies.
I'm surprised there's not a Santa convention.
Yeah, there is. There's tons. And Branson has a big one.
Really?
Gatlinburg probably has one.
There's cruises. Teresa's all about that one. But could you imagine somebody not being on that cruise and come in? There's 1,000 Santas on the cruise.
Like,
ship.
what the
what in the world?
What do they do in January?
It's like it's in January or February, I think. Yeah, when they do it. No, the one in Branson is a pretty big deal. I'll tell you a funny story. A lady that's one of my customers, she called me the other day. She goes, "Hey, can you come by the office?" And I'm like, yeah. So I can come by there. And she said, "I got a magazine I want to show you." And it was Missouri Tourism. And it was a story on that school over at Branson with all the Santas.
Oh.
And she goes, "Look at them." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "None of them look as good as you." I said, "Well, I appreciate that." She goes, "No, I'm serious. Look at them." I said, "Well, it probably was July. Most of them not in full." But she goes, "But I appreciate it, And I think my hometown's a little prejudiced.
Well, of course.
But a little bit, which is great.
So,
well, you're more of you're Sikeston, but you're more regional too, though.
Oh, yeah. I go to, I go to Bernie. I've done New Madrid. Trying to think else.
You said East Prairie.
East Prairie, Bloomfield.
Talk about Charleston.
Charleston. I go to Charleston every year.
Yeah. To the school over there?
My Hearns kids over there, I mean, they know I'm their Santa, kind of like the kids are here. And, and so when I come in, I mean, they know who I am. And that's a great feeling.
I'm sure it is.
It really is.
Tell us, you've told me this story, and actually, when I try, like I said, we send questions out, so you kind of prepared. But again, Rod and I have been friends forever. Tell them about the story where you get your suits. I just like, you get them like Amazon, or he's like, oh no.
Well, when I first started, there's tons of places that got like costume places and other things, but Santa Express was one I found, and I trusted them. I got my first one in. I'm like, hey, this is pretty good quality, And those were about 500, 600, somewhere around in there. Yeah. So the greatest fear for a Santa is cleaning your uniform and your fur comes back pink, because you have to dry clean them. A lot of guys have come, over the years, try to do it themselves with lint brush and things, and that'll work to a certain extent. But when you get different things on you, you've got to take them in.
Yeah.
That's the greatest fear, thinking, oh my gosh, my suit's come back and it's pink. Well, I've had one that did that, and so I kind of Googled something about Santa suits that the fur comes off, whatever, and boom. This lady comes up, Angie. She is actually in. I always thought she was in Wyoming, but I think she's in Idaho. Is where she's actually at.
I was thinking Vegas. Why do I think Vegas?
No, I think she done some stuff out there.
Okay.
But she custom makes them, and the fur snaps off. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's a pain in the butt to take it off.
About 400 or 500 snaps.
There's probably 500 on my coat, just on the bottom.
Oh, my God.
And when you got arthritis in your fingers, it's not fun. I had the girls at work helping me.
Oh, my. Snap them back
on a long table helping. Like, that's parade night. I got to get these back on again.
So
you take them off, just don't have them clean. Then.
Right. Yeah. I do. Well, we can do them separate.
Well, I guess that's right.
And that way they don't bleed.
To
make it pink or whatever.
But because the fur is expensive too.
Oh, fur is very expensive. Everything I got is just rabbit. I've got fox fur on one of them, and then
you've got
absolutely
authentic fur.
Everything she makes is custom to me. Now that she's got my size, which is very handy because I can say, hey, I need a vest.
Kind of like me probably with your arms.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I am. I've always been big armed, and so it's tough to buy stuff. Like
off the rack,
off the rack. Yeah. And she was, when she was first kind of getting into this, she made the suits, but she didn't do a lot of accessories. And she said, I'll send you to a guy that does your shirts. I said, why don't you make shirts? You're making suits. And she did. She started making it. And so she made me some, and that I had ordered, just kind of some plain white ones. Well, then she started coming out with these, it's got all kinds of stuff. Snowflakes, and this one I got on now is
got lights,
Christmas lights. I don't know if you guys saw my button. My buttons are lights too. So
I did not see that.
I said, now if she was really good, they would have lit up. But she, But anyway, I love her to death. She's been very, very good.
So you ever got to meet her?
No. I just talked to her on Facebook. I've never even talked to her on the phone. But I'll tell you a story. Last year, I got my first suit from her. Was that big? I feel the big one. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I look like Elton John. It got fur all the way down to the ground, but it comes around my head and it's got a hood. I'm not a hoodie guy.
Yeah.
I've never been a hoodie guy. Got a short neck, so anyway. And I like it. I really do. But I like it's so hot because you got layers. You're
not in Idaho.
Yeah, and I'm not in Idaho. I'm in Missouri, and so it's got to be cold. Now I wore it the first year in parade. Everybody went nuts, and then it was like 70 the next year, and I'm like, I'm not wearing it. But anyway, I last year she sends these teasers. I call them teasers, so that new items and stuff out on Facebook on her Facebook page. And I said, and she put a suit. I guess Santa had paid half of it down.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you about. Tell this story.
And he put it, and it's the one I've always wanted, which is a Coca-Cola suit. If you go back and look at the old Coca-Cola ads, they never had fur around their neck. They never had any on the front. They had them on the bottom and on the cuffs. And that's the one I want. My beard is long enough.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think it kind of took away when I had all that fur up,
That's the one you had on the other day.
Yeah.
At the bank.
At the bank. That's the one I had. And I really love it. It fits me to a T. But the story behind it was that this guy didn't pick his up, or I don't know what the story was behind it. But she threw it out there. And it was like half price. And I'm like, I want that. And so I texted her real quick because, guys are on there all the time. And I said, hey, will that fit me? And she goes, well, I'm at the house. When I get to the shop, I'll check it, whatever, and I'll text you back. So I'm waiting all afternoon, kind of like a kid at Christmas. And she texts me back. And this is like in 1st of November last year. And I said, and she finally answered me and said, she goes, no, your arms are too big for it, whatever. I said, oh, man. I said, I've really wanted a Coke. Matter of fact, she just brought it out, that style, after I got my first one. So it was like, oh, should have waited. You never know.
Right.
But anyway, so she calls me like 2 days later, or sends me a message 2 days later. She goes, I'll make you one for that price.
What?
I said, I'll send you the money today.
Yeah.
Because most guys pay it out, whatever.
Oh.
I said, no, I'll send it to you now. I want it.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said, now, not to push it, but I have a parade on December 6th. And I said, and I want it for my parade. Can you get it to me there? Yeah, we should be. Well, 2 weeks go by, I don't hear nothing. And, so we're in the little later part of November, getting close. And so I just sent her a little text, hey, how's everything going? Oh, I've been in a car wreck and I hurt my wrist.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, I'm not going to get it. And she goes, no, I've got helpers. She goes, I've hired some girls to help me get through the season. And she goes, we're going to get it to you. She goes, now when is it again? I said, December 6th is when the parade is. I got it at December 5th at like 7 o'clock on my front door.
Oh, my God.
So I run in, and I take it, and it fits me like a glove.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's the greatest feeling that I can tell her, what I want, kind of.
You didn't have to go tell her your size or nothing.
No, she's got everything, and as long as I keep where I'm at. But but shirts wise and everything, she knows I got big arms, so she makes them fluffy and anyway.
So how many suits do you have?
I knew you was gonna ask me that. I was looking the other day, including my old ones, and I still keep some. I do a lot of stuff with dogs and animals and stuff. So I've kept some older ones that kind of can clean. I can clean up a little bit, but I think I've got 6 is what it is.
Wow, nice.
And I do have a blue one, a royal blue one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't wear that very often.
You want to tell that story? That's one you just told me before.
Yeah. A little boy that got hit getting off the school bus last year, or earlier this year, I guess it was. Yeah. And his favorite color was blue. And it really touched me. I mean, he's just an average little kid getting off the bus, and that happens to him. And he's lucky to even be with us for the first.
Is that the kid up at Morley?
Yeah, it was between Morley coming out. I think it's Scott Central somewhere. But anyway, so I get in contact with his parents and his dad, and I said, hey, how's he doing? And everything. He was coming along, and he said his favorite color was blue. So my mom keeps her tree up till Super Bowl, so because she loves to look at it and everything. So I said, hey, I'll go over to Mom's and make a video. So I put my blue suit on, and I made a video and sent it to his dad, and basically just saying that, hang tough and listen to your parents, listen to your doctor and everything. You're going to be fine. And I said, no, Santa's going to come see you next year. And,
which is this year.
So this is this year. Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
And so that's where I went tonight. So it's pretty cool. And they've moved now, so they're in the Kelly School District now. So, but
gotcha.
Still, it was worth it, and they were so grateful.
So what you've told several stories. Is there one like that we've talked about, or that one that kind of just sticks with you, or a couple, or whatever?
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be just one.
I've had some special ones.
Sorry about that. Micah was trying to tear up the set here, and we had to pause.
Collapsing on me.
We had to pause for a second.
So Santa's got to tell us about moments that stick.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I've got a few. Of course, there's a ton.
Right.
A few that have stuck to me. One of my first ones, I was doing a home visit in Christmas Eve, and the mom called me the morning of and said, "Oh, we had something kind of come up last night." Said, "My daughter wrote a letter to you. She got a new puppy,
wow,
and she wants a name tag for the puppy." Said, "My husband got it done, and it's under the mat. So when you come, it's going to be under the mat." So I grabbed it and put it in my bag. So we go in, whatever, and she tells me the story, and we do everything, and go in and do our little visit, and she was very polite. She was nervous. She was right at that age.
The little girl?
The girl was 8 or 9, somewhere around in there. She said, I said, "Did you write me a letter last night?" "Yes, sir."
Oh, my gosh.
"Okay." I said, "What'd you ask for?" She said, I wanted a name tag for my new puppy. She got a new golden retriever, or golden lab. And I said, "Yeah." So I reach in there and pull it out, and it's got the name on it.
Oh, my gosh.
She's just, And so, of course, I'm trying to fight. Parents fight, everything. She goes, "Oh, Santa." And she was so happy and everything. And then, right on cue, here comes the pup.
Oh, my gosh.
He's been in the kitchen, kind of doing his thing, and we're in the other room. And I said, "Hey, let's do some pictures." So we do a picture, and almost like a Hallmark moment, they had me in front of the tree, and the dog licks me.
Oh, yeah.
And the little girl's looking down at us, and the tree is right behind us, and it says "Merry Christmas" right over my head. I mean, it couldn't have got it any better.
Oh, my.
And so I get to the car, and her mom texts me. She's like, "We're all bawling." I said, "Me too." I said, "I'm trying to hold it together, you know."
Oh, that's awesome.
That was one of them. That one always has stuck with me. Another one is, you know, like I said, I do a free family that I try to do every year.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of like the one I did tonight. And I did one. This guy's special to me. And he's got a bunch of kids. I'll tell you, Jason Davis, and he was one of my boys when I was coaching years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So he, you know, he's special to me.
Yeah.
And I remember when I told him, I stopped him and I said, "Hey," I said, "I'm coming to your house this year." He's like, "What?" I mean, he's just like a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
He was, "My house?" And I said, "Yeah." You know, so okay, cool. So we did it. Well, we set it up, and we got all the stockings. He stole the stockings and put them in this truck, and so I picked those up and put them in my bag. And I told him, I said, "I'm not knocking. I'm just going to bust in."
Oh.
And he goes, "That'll be great." I said, so that's what I've been doing more often here lately.
Really?
Yeah, because Santa's got a magic key.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear it rattle. And the kids know this stuff. I mean, it's amazing. I didn't. You know, obviously, I'm learning as I go.
We had to have
They'll teach you.
Well, you don't. Not everybody has a chimney.
That's
anymore.
just that's what we had here.
So,
we had Santa had a magic key here.
key.
It was and ours hung on the door.
Yeah, okay.
On the knob.
And I've seen those too. You know, you can buy them, put them up, whatever. But yeah, this is mine, so I can rattle it. It's got bells on it, so it really makes it. And they'll say, "Hey, what's that?" And I said, "Well, that's so I can get in your house." And you're like, you know, so puts another thing in their mind. But anyway, I just busted in, and his youngest one, she'd had a rough year. She'd broken arm, had some surgeries and things, kind of the same situation as the other boy. So that's why I kind of picked her, and she's the one that sees me first, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's Santa!" So, and it just gets better and better. And we took pictures and doing everything, and then I start pulling their stockings out of my bag, and they're all like, and they look, you know, and they're gone from the mantle, and they're like, "How did he get them?" You know. Anyway, the magic. That's
right.
It's so fun.
That's right.
And then there was another. You know, there's been a bunch, but there's another one I like, and this kind of come up on me this year. Had a boy last year. Again, he's about that age that he's hearing stuff at school, and but he still wants to believe, and mama wants him to believe, you know, obviously,
long as you can,
and so anyway, he come last year and talked to me. He said, "Son, you know what I really want?" And I said, "Tell me." And he said, "I want to get a deer."
Oh no,
that's tough for me, for Santa. I'm thinking a minute. I said, "Okay." I said, "Do you hunt with your dad?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you listen to Dad." And I said, "You know,
I thought you meant he wanted one as a pet.
No. He's wanting to get one.
Oh, I'm with you now.
He's a hunter.
Oh, okay.
He's wanting to get one. You know, Dad's been getting them, and he's just not had any luck."
Gotcha.
And I said, I just told him, I said, you keep believing, keep doing what you're supposed to do, being good at school and all that. I said, all that's going to pan out. I said, you're going to get that deer.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. And I mean, he just perked up because he was a little down. Well, this year he comes back to the same event.
Oh, my gosh.
So he sits down. I'm like, that's the first thing in my mind. I'm like, oh, okay.
Get the deer?
And so he sits down, and I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Good." He said, "You know what?" He said, "I got that deer."
Oh, my gosh.
He said, 2 weeks after I talked to him.
Oh, my gosh.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And man, I high-fived him, you know, we fist bumped. Because next year, he may not be there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just
that's awesome.
Just one of those stories that, you know, always stick with me. One of the other ones, too, I don't think they'll share, but I always do Marshall Pullen's family. Yeah. Marshall's had a rough life.
Yes, he
poor
has.
Boy.
Yes, he has.
And, you know, when I first went, I didn't know I was getting into it. You know, when I was getting to it. Now, I mean, I put him down every year. And
of course.
I called Derek, and, you know, he's kind of been through a tough, last few years. It's been tough around Christmas. It's really been tough. So I was like, hey, how's he doing? He goes, well, this week, he hadn't been doing good. So check with me. He said, just call me Christmas Eve. We'll see. So I always call or text or whatever. And he goes, yeah, it depends on when he's going to be up, early or late or whatever. And so but I want to make sure and get there. Well, last year was a rough week. And then he said, yeah, come on. He said, just come on. He said he hasn't been, he hadn't been movement, or anything. He said he's kind of been in a lot of pain and stuff. I was like, okay. And so they've been keeping him comfortable. So I always wear my bells. You guys heard them when I come in. But I come in the house, and he's in the other room, and he hears them. And so we're sitting there, and so I talked to him, whatever, and all of a sudden his eyes are closed, but his eyes were starting to move back and forth, and he hadn't done that in a while.
Gosh.
So you're talking about tough, trying to hold that together. And so his mom said, well, let's they had a ceiling fan right over top of him, so they turned the light on. He opened his eyes.
Oh,
and he hadn't in about a week, So they're crying. I'm
well, yeah.
I mean, he's just
Those
a
are good
special. He's a special kid. He's just a special kid.
Oh my gosh.
What he's gone through and everything, and if I can give him just a blink of anything, that's it makes my heart feel good. So matter of fact, last year, my next stop after him, I had to call him. Like, I'm bawling in a car. I said, I said, I'll be there in a minute. I said, I got to get myself together. And I said, because that one got me. And, and it usually does. I try to do him last because I know it's going to affect me every year.
But his sleep schedule.
And just try to get it to where we can. But anyway, he's special.
Speaking of that and all these emotional things, and I'm sure each of them are special in their own way.
They are.
Some because the kids, and you see their them light up and all that stuff, but you do 100 or however many of. How do you keep that energy? I know you're physically taking stuff for it, but the emotional side's got to be tough too.
Emotional side is tough. One of my buddies, Glenn Burden, we eat lunch together a lot, and and kids recognize me, when we're out, and he made a comment the other day. He couldn't believe how fast I click, and I go to character. It's just like it's like somebody's coming. Boom, and so I turn in. I mean, I'm him, and turn into it. And he's like, he said, it's amazing how you can just turn into it. I said, well. It's from doing it and everything else, but the emotional side, like you're talking about, it just comes with it. I was saving it kind of for last, but I'm going to tell you now. But one of my goals from day one, and whether I'm downtown or I'm at school or I'm in a house, my goal is that kid right in front of me. Nothing in the world matters but me and him, because their eyes are that big.
Oh yeah.
And they've got my attention, and and so they deserve, every bit of me that they can get. And so anything that's going on, side or whatever, that's their moment. And that's tough when you're downtown and stuff's going on all the time. Right. But I've always tried to stay focused on those kids. Yeah. Because who knows, if they ever get to go again or, whatever. But.
And we talked a little bit about this kind of as we were getting set up, and Rod and I go to church together, and I know faith is a big part of his life, but how do those cross? I mean, of that as well, because I've always said, and there was a picture a few years ago showed Santa. You were praying at church or whatever it was. There we go.
With in front of the cross.
Yeah. And
basically bowing that,
right.
That
it's
all about that.
Right. How do you see those? How does that?
Well, I mean, you got to be in this time and era. You got to be careful with different things. But
and I don't mean heresy. That's not what I'm trying to be.
But I get it. But you just try to. I try to preach to them to be kind. treat people, even like tonight, I told kids, I ask every kid, how you been? Have you been good? You know, they know. They're going to tell me the truth.
They go,
and I know, I can read faces, and I'll tell you a story. I had one a couple of weeks ago. Mama called me. She goes, single mom. She goes, I'm having trouble with a kid. And my son, he's kind of being a turd at school. Pulled the girl's hair, been talking back to his teacher. She goes, I want you to scare him. And I'm like, well, I ain't going to scare him, but I'll have to talk with him.
Yeah.
And so she goes, we're having a get together, and I said, don't tell him I'm coming. I'm gonna bust in the door, just like I've been doing. And anyway, so I did. And there's 7, 8 kids there. They're making cookies and doing stuff. And boom, I walk in. His eyes got that big around. I knew immediately which one he was. He told on himself. And so then we had the conversation, and I just told him, I said, what's going on? And he goes, what? I was like, well, you got stuff at school not going right, and you've been acting up, and did you pull a little girl's hair? He said, yeah. So we had the little conversation. And then, I said, well, if you do get on the nice list, I said, what do you want? And so he tells me. So I'm thinking, hoverboard and scooters, that's all the big stuff right now. And he says, I want a iPhone 17. He's 7. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And his mom's over there going, oh my gosh, But then he said, probably some earbuds. I'm like, okay. He goes, one other thing, Santa. He said, I really, really want. So what's that? He said, I want a Rolex.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Santa don't even have a Rolex.
Exactly.
So that's situations that I kind of come across.
Yeah. Yeah.
But getting back to the thing, I was going to share with you, I've always worked with kids. I mean, I've been coaching since I was 13 until up to a couple of years ago. So about 42 years
just
volunteer.
Exactly.
Out there. Yeah. But never dreamed I'd be Santa. I mean, just never did. But I've always enjoyed being around kids, working with kids, and doing everything. So it kind of comes natural. I mean, with working, but and our old pastor George Carl, me and him were talking about it one day, and when he was here, and he told me a story, and because he said something about, he said I was missing something because I had a Santa event or whatever, and he says, don't ever apologize. And he said, what you're doing is a ministry. And I said, okay. And he said, let me tell you. He said, when I was in Indiana, he lost his wife. She passed away. She volunteered at the school as a PTO. And so to honor her, I think he decided he wanted to jump in that spot or whatever. So he did. And he said it was around Christmas time or something. And he said he was working with a kid, a boy, I think is what it was. Anyway, and they just had a little conversation at the table, whatever. When he got done, he hugged him. And he said, no big deal, whatever. He got a call from the school, and he's an outsider. He can't hug the kids.
Oh, no.
And he said, never crossed my mind. I'm a minister, never even think about it. But he said, you can get away with it.
Yes. He
said, because you're Santa. And I said, I've never thought of that. Well, then I look back, even this year I've had some really good, but the hugs I get, they're genuine.
Oh, there's no doubt.
There is some. I mean, there's different ones, that'll pat you, the kind of awkward one, that you have with an older lady, or something like that. But the kids, when they hug you, oh man, it's amazing. And so I hug back, and I'm gonna hug hard.
Oh yeah,
because. My buddy Marty Young used to teach over at Charleston, and he said, Rod, some of those kids, that may be the only one to get.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
But so when they bombard me,
yeah,
you you feel like Elvis over there because I mean anywhere because they come up running and I take it all in whatever.
Oh yeah,
half of them are my leg or my stomach, whatever. But we hug them.
That does make you feel good.
Oh my gosh!
I remember it's been about a year. Well, last year at the Charleston football game, I was standing in line at the in the concession line to get some food. And there's this girl holding a baby in front of me.
Yeah.
That baby just started reaching for me and wouldn't let go. And like she come to me and she wouldn't let go of me.
That's awesome.
I was like, and I don't know what it was. She would stay with me more than mom.
That's
and I know. I mean, like,
I totally get it. Now
I didn't know her. I didn't.
We get some runners. Obviously, not everybody's a fan, especially the little ones. But
till they figure out who you are.
Till they figure out.
Yes, that's right.
And I've learned the little tricks and stuff with doing this photography and stuff. Is everybody hands them to me frontwards. I said hand them to me in back. And then they can't see me because most little kids they can't turn their neck and
right.
So I said just set them on there and let's see what happens.
Interesting.
And it works.
Now, we got
it had not all the time.
Well, I mean, like they may get a glimpse of your but
I wonder what it is that is it just because
we all laugh. The Santa Clauses, we all laugh about it. Your whole life, stranger danger, don't. And then they throw you on a weird man with a beard and a red suit and run. Basically to take a picture. So,
yep.
I get it. My kids were that way.
Yeah,
both of mine. I mean, Jalen would never look up. She kept her head down. Tyler, as he got a little older, did, but Jalen never did. But
we talked about all the things, and we've kind of hit on this one. I was just sitting here looking at some of the questions, but obviously there's an expense to the suits.
Oh yeah,
and there is expense. You got gas and got this and whatever, but I guess time. I know it obviously takes a lot of time to do this as a number of minutes, but obviously some pay, most pay. So, but what do you get back? What does it take from you, and what do you get back?
I'd say 90% of what I get paid for goes back into everything. Gas, insurance. People don't know this. You
got to have liability.
You got to have liability now.
I did not even think about that.
I was reading something the other day. If we talking about the Coca-Cola suit. If you go back and watch the old Coca-Cola commercials from when we were kids, or even the billboards or the ads or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't have gloves. Santas didn't have gloves.
No.
The mall guys are the ones that brought out the gloves.
Ah.
Two things for that. One was keep you clean. Handing nasty jackets has been outside and everything. Not that they can help it. It's just part of it. And the other thing is your hands are visible with the white gloves. So when you're holding a kid, you see, I don't have my hand down here. I don't have my hand.
Oh.
Your hands are visible.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought, man, I never thought of that when I got into this, but I always wear gloves. I mean, I always have. I just think it's cool. And
he's got some, the new ones with the SC on there. It's really cool.
I got those this year. And I had a few last year I wear in the parade and sort of thing, but I thought, man, the kids like them. And then they do. They point at them and everything, and it's kind of interesting and part of the suit, I guess you'd say now. So.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't think about the liability until we start talking.
Yeah, I did not either.
And that's what I said. There's a lot of guys that do it for the business, and they do very well, very, very well. But I'm not. I mean,
you want to cover your expenses.
I'm trying to. Obviously, I want to cover my expenses, and sometimes I don't. We do presents, and I'd love to just do it for free. Free.
Yeah, literally was what I was getting ready to ask you.
Everybody asks me, hey, can you, I can't. I just can't. There's certain ones I do, and that's my choice to pick and choose,
Right.
But I don't and there's not very many. Most of them, I've got to get a little bit of money for my time. My suits, to get clean, that's a big expense.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it.
Do you have to clean them multiple times throughout the season?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Several times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one we were talking about, the Coca-Cola suit that I got all the snaps put on, the very next day I got threw up on. So,
no.
So it had to go back. I had to take everything off, and you can clean it to a certain, but some funk don't come out.
Right.
Well, you want to clean.
And I did. And
Yeah.
I want to clean.
Yeah.
And then, so that suit was out of the cycle, I guess you'd say. I took it, and so it's, 3 or 4 days before I get that. So that's the good thing of having these combos where I have vests and different things.
So you can wear kind of mix and match.
I can mix and match.
So you got 6 full suits, but you may have 15
I've
that you could.
I've got 8 or 9 vests.
Oh, yeah.
That I can interchange, and I got another one coming. She's making me for next year. So
you may have 20 suits.
yeah, that's what's
I mean,
it
really, or whatever.
could have 20 different combinations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got red, and then you've got this is a green one I'm wearing tonight.
Yep.
I don't wear it very often. I was kind of leery about it. After I bought it, and I got it in. I argued with her for 2 days. I said it's black. And she's like, no, it's green. She goes, I promise it's green. I put it on every light in the house. It's black.
I can see green there.
But it's under a natural light or outside. It's green.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really green.
What's laying on that?
Yeah,
That light colored leather there.
yeah. You can tell.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had a child tonight. He said, "Santa, you look really nice tonight." It made me feel good.
Yeah.
I tried it. I mean, it's for them. It's what it is. And,
They like it.
They love it, and it's kind of silly, but I try to, like, your bank events or the pause or whatever I'm doing, I go back and look at pictures like, what did I wear last year?
Ah.
So I try to wear something different. Schools,
Oh.
and if you ever try to look through a Facebook page of a school,
Oh.
and
They post 50,000 days a day.
pictures every day. One day I was sitting there at lunch just going, oh my God, I'm never going to get back to December.
So do you find that the kids receive you better in their home than they do at a public event?
They feel more comfortable at home,
yeah.
obviously. And they're more, I shouldn't say that, but they're a little more silly, kind of acting out a little bit.
Well, yeah.
Which they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
And Santa's in my house. Oh my God.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the big thing.
Exactly.
But
He's better than Elf on the Shelf.
No, he's way
Oh,
better
hey,
than Elf on the Shelf.
the Santas are not a big fan of this Elf on the
I don't
Shelf.
know, not
my
either.
God.
Really.
There's so many, like when I go to schools, everybody's got one in their classroom. And then they ask me, what's his name? I said, well, you tell me. Do you know? And then they'll tell me, like that.
Huh.
But we're supposed to know.
Oh, yeah.
And then they want us to touch it so it'll come alive.
Oh.
I'm like, no, I can't do that. I said, he works for me. He's watching. And that puts that back in their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I saw a TikTok video literally today. This dog grabbed one of them and had it in its mouth.
Oh.
And I think it was a little girl. He's got
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "You're a monster," and I was because the dog was just holding it in its mouth,
Drooling all over.
Oh, I was laughing.
They're so funny.
Oh my gosh! So, what do you want to be, like, your legacy from this? What do you? Obviously, you're very proud of it, and we're very proud of you. And you're our Santa, and everybody knows that. But what do you want to be? What do you if you stop tomorrow, what would you want people to say?
Well, I'll tell you, it just happened. I've had several people tell me, but I don't know if I told you this, but the lady, last weekend, we did donuts, Santa with donuts for the Parks Department. And that's kind of been, in the past few years, it's hit and miss. We had cinnamon buns one year, and we did, and it's a lot of things. It depends on the weather and, a lot of things. And, but we have it at the Clinton building. And this year it was a blowout. I mean, all different types. We had adult special needs come in too, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. They're just big kids. Mm-hmm. That's basically all they are. And that's the way I treat them. Talk to them just like I do the others, and they're excited just like to see me, just like Mm-hmm. So I act like I'm excited to see them. But I had a mother come up to me, and I recognized her. She had a daughter, and I recognized her daughter, and I said, "Hey, darling, how are you?" And we talked, and she gave me a big squeeze, and I'm like, "Oh man!" And it just made my day. And she walks off, and her mom grabs my hand.
Uh-oh.
And stops, and she says, I just want to tell you thanks. And I said, okay. And so what I do, and she said, well, we go downtown, you're her Santa. Said, you went to school, you're her Santa. And then we come here, you're her Santa. She goes, that makes my life so much easier. Not have to explain, other situations, when you see him, whatever. She goes, she loves you.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
It absolutely got me.
Yeah.
And I get several like that. Some people will tag me on stuff, and say thank you, whatever. But yeah, when she did that, and I lost it. It was.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's special, and that's what I want to leave as my legacy. One of these days when these old, everything quits working, where I can't climb the steps and can't, I done a home visit the other day and the steps were about that wide, and you wearing these size 12 boots with jingles on it, and that wouldn't sound good going down. But but as long as I can do it, and I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, because I get as big as joy as they do of me.
Isn't that something?
And I never dreamed I'd do this.
That you, the joy is giving.
Oh, it is. The whole thing.
You don't, as a kid, you're like, the joy is getting stuff,
getting presents, getting
new video games and whatever. But the joy really is giving.
It is. And like I said, it wears on me.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was going to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
You ask most of your guests what their song choice is or whatever.
Oh, what their walk-up song?
Yeah, what their walk-up song. Yeah. See, I have a Santa list, and that's what I play in the parade. It's all Santa songs. But Mr. Santa, let me look it up sometime, by Amy Grant.
Okay.
It's very pop, and I thought, man.
Is that like Mr. Sandman?
It is.
Is it really?
That's exactly what it is.
It's funny.
But it's Mr. Santa. And then she goes into all the things. And, I mean, you need to listen to it tonight.
I will.
It's pretty awesome. She's, and it's probably from 15, 20 years ago. But
I've never even heard it.
But when we're going through the parade, that's one of the ones I keep on the loop. And
nice.
I got like 5 or 6 that's,
some
of the old stuff, and got to throw Michael Bublé in there a little bit. but it's awesome.
So cool. Shift gears a little bit.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, and I'm sure they do know, if they know right at all, tell us, this is the Doghouse, so give us Santa's take on the Bulldogs this year.
Oh, well,
by the way, if you're going, get there early tomorrow
night. Yeah.
Yes, it's a 4:30. It's a 9th grade.
Right.
Freshman, JV, varsity.
It's hard for me to talk about it because I'm so busy.
Yeah,
I've been at the SEMO conference.
I've been at hit and miss.
Yep.
The SEMO conference, I forget every year to block it, but I usually do Friday. The way my Friday is set up, I take every Friday off in December at my regular job.
Oh yeah.
So that allows me to do stuff during the day.
Yeah.
So I do try to do that so I can block and watch championship or the whole. I just like tell Teresa, hey, see you at 10, which that's every night during Santa anyway.
Right.
So
right.
If you guys can see my calendar, basically from Thanksgiving, once Thanksgiving hits, I've got stuff every day.
She's a single lady, huh?
Yeah. Well, she's at Walmart, so she's the same way.
Oh, single lady.
But we just pass. I mean, everybody says, hey, last night we actually got to have a meal together about 8:30.
Oh, my gosh.
But because I got done, I was over Bloomfield, got done, come back. She had to work till 7:30 and just kind of lined out. It doesn't happen very often. But anyway, back to the Bulldogs. I hadn't got to watch them. What I watched them online, I told my buddy Glenn that he goes to everything. And
oh yeah,
like you guys, and And I said, asking him what he thought. I said, they look good. I said, we need to work on rebounding.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a weakness.
Yep.
Which we don't have the height that we did last year, obviously. Yep. But I said, but that'll come. I think it'll come as they get going. But man, they're fun to watch. Oh my gosh,
they are fun to watch.
It's just, it just amazes me, year after year after year. And look how many seniors would we lose last year?
Six.
And what?
80% of our scoring.
Right.
But they were, and how many of them went to college?
All six of them played post high school basketball.
That's awesome. That's absolutely, that's a big thing with me. When Tyler's bunch was going through, Sykeston kids, and then we had travel team, and we had 14 on that travel team, and I think nine either signed a minor league contract or played college baseball. And
that's crazy.
It's just, that don't happen.
No.
No. And I try to tell them when they're in high school, like you said earlier, when you're in high school, you're like, now they're having kids and they're married and everything. And like, that was very special.
So, yeah. Big time special.
So you guys don't know what we do because we've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I do. I think this is a special group.
They're going to be a tough out.
I think the thing, and that's what Glenn, my panel that we talked about, we were all talking about. I think they're more. I mean, I hate to say that, but they're more of a team. I mean, they have to play that way. You can't guard a certain one.
Nope.
Well, we seen that the other day.
Well, that's what I said.
We've had 231 or 30 points plus.
Yep.
Poor Kobe last year was just kind of the wingman over there, and every once in a while they'd kick him one, he'd hit it, and
he scored 30 twice this year.
Yeah,
he had 30.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, two different people this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 2 30-point scores. And we talked about on our well, this will be on the pre-show of this.
Yeah,
we talked about how those two have scored 30, but Jaharis could get 20 or 30.
Yeah. He's going to have that.
Sean Cole could get that many.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're going to have those games.
Yeah,
as a confidence.
Yeah, Ben
J-Ray can go off.
Ben can get 20. Yeah. Easy, as good as he shoots.
Like you said, a lot of these guys haven't played varsity. So
yes,
they're still in that hesitant stage.
Yes,
to where like, hey, am I going to get yelled at for doing that?
Right.
I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
And and as they get more comfortable in playing together,
yep,
I think it's just going to get better.
That's the hallmark of a Hollifield team is that they progress and get better all year.
And that's his goal always.
Yep.
I don't care what you do. He said
it's a mixture though of like, I mean, I know we got a bunch of people. There's some kids that played rows last year,
right?
None of them starters.
No. Mm-hmm.
And then you bring in another group of young ones that are
just keeps the wheel turning.
That's how important playing when you're. I tried to explain this when Tyler was going through. If you're not going to start on varsity as a JV player, you need to play JV.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's for. That's what it's development. That's
Quay Allen and Sean Cole's going to be the most minutes on the court this year.
Right. Yes, because they're going to play 2 minutes of every junior varsity game, and four quarters. I'm not 2 minutes. Two quarters of a JV game.
I guarantee you, Peyton Howard probably played more minutes than anybody.
Yes,
probably ever in Sykeston basketball history.
Yes,
and look what it did for him.
Exactly.
Like, man.
Exactly. I saw him the other night, by the way, at the game at I can't remember if it was the Hayti game or
I think it was.
I was going to say I thought I saw him at the Hayti game.
I snuck in the end of that.
Great for him. Well, Santa Rod, I didn't send you these, and I didn't send them to you on purpose.
Okay,
these are the lightning round questions.
Okay.
Just
let me get a sweet.
It's basically it's basically kind of like a this or that.
Gotcha.
All right. Cookies or milk?
You can't imagine how many cookies I eat. Every house has them, especially on the home visits.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you a story. Last year, Livy is a little girl that's real special to me. And I've done her, the very first year, she hated me. She came to Tanner Street, she cried, she wouldn't even come near me. Mm-hmm. And then about halfway through the summer, she asked her mom, so when are we going to go see Santa? She goes, at Christmas? It was like July.
Right.
So, and then we developed this back and forth. But she's the one, last year, I went real early. It was like second week in November, and did their home visit. And I busted in the door, come in, and she cries. And I mean, it broke my heart because we've been so close. And she said, "I didn't get to make your cookies." I said, "Honey," I said, "Santa's just coming to visit." I said, "You can make them cookies for Christmas Eve." Okay. But I mean, she was already in tears. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I said, it's okay. And what we were doing was I brought the presents in, and everything was Disney. And so she's opening it, her little sister's opening it, and they're, you know, I said, "You like Disney?" And she said, "Yeah." And she goes, "We're going to go to Disney World this summer." And I said, "No, you're not." She goes, "What?" I said, "You're going tomorrow." And she didn't know it, but they were leaving for vacation tomorrow, the next day.
Gosh.
So, of course, Papa paid for everything. But Santa's the hero. So,
Right, exactly.
They're both jumping on my lap and everything.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's one of my favorite stories too. But,
All right. What's Santa's favorite Christmas song?
Christmas song. Most requested, which I sing. I do sing. You know,
He does?
Good luck to Alexa. Everybody has Alexa, and they'll say, "Hey, you want to sing a song?" "Yeah, we'll sing a song. Let's sing a song." So I sing with them. You know.
Awesome.
But it's Jingle Bells.
Okay.
Most of them like Jingle Bells.
Okay. What's the best age for kids that visit Santa? What do you think? What's the best age?
Probably kindergarten.
5-ish?
They're past the.
freaking
scared
out,
out, and they're not too cool.
Oh, yeah.
To be Santa there, you know.
Second and third grade.
They're probably not
Yeah,
even
it's
questioning.
cool.
They're not questioning yet either.
No,
No.
nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, their eyes are. Yeah.
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
They're all focused.
Awesome.
They're all in. Yeah, absolutely.
Rudolph or Frosty?
Oh, Rudolph. Got to go Rudolph.
course.
Absolutely.
I watched both of them today.
Did you?
by the time I went to church.
Have you ever had to improvise a toy request? Like somebody you had to kind of change it up?
Yeah. Not necessarily toys. I try to look at the parents. You know, when the kids are there, you know, they're looking at me. The parents are right behind them.
Yeah.
I learned this kind of early in about animals. You know, because I want a dog for Christmas.
Yeah, or a horse or
And
something.
so I'm looking over there, and Mom and Dad's talking to somebody, you know. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So, but I've learned that we don't make dogs at North Pole. So that'll be up to your parents. And they're like, oh, okay, you know. So, but with toys, you know, like a Rolex, like we had earlier. If
that works,
yeah.
Matt wants a Rolex too.
Matt's going to get on the
I'll
list.
sit on your lap for one of those. I'll sit right on your leg.
But I do try to look at the parents. You know, sometimes if they're real young, I can't understand them. You know,
Oh, yeah.
There's Santa here, and I just say, you know, Santa's old. You're going to have to tell me again, and then I'll try to get to him because my hat hangs down over one of them, so I can't hear. And so I try to get lean down and talk to them, and they always talk like that. They get up there, they're all excited, and then they can't remember, you know, and it's funny. But, yeah.
Hey, got a couple more.
Okay.
North Pole or Sykeston?
Oh man, that was tough. I'm a homebody, so I'm going to say Sykeston because the Sykeston folks are so good to me. So
That's right.
absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's home.
And last one.
Yeah.
What's the best reaction you've gotten from a kid? I know you get them all the time. Do you have one in particular that sticks out to you?
Just like when, even downtown, get some, but home visits are a little special. I mean, they'll come and just run and jump in my arms.
Yep.
I had a little boy a couple weeks ago. You know, I come in the door and he's playing in the floor, you know, just having, and just,
That's awesome.
you know, jumped in my lap, made my day, you know, hugged me. And like I said, they're genuine. There is no, you know, pat or whatever. They hug.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the ones that get me. Yeah, absolutely.
So if somebody, how would somebody get in touch with you? What's the best way if they want to schedule this? Like, and I know you probably got
Not this week.
No. Yeah,
we're done for this year.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying for next year.
Next year, I mean, obviously the earlier the better.
Okay.
I've probably got 26 already booked.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
For next year with photographers and some other stuff. But I've already had schools and home visits and banks and a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Already. The city. Everybody hits me early, which is good for me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it gets me in there, and then I can kind of fill my schedule up. But best thing is my Facebook page is it's Santa Rod. So it'll go back usually in February or March to my real name and to Rod Anderson, and then usually I'll flip it. But that's the best way to get me.
Okay. If you don't know Rod and you know me or Micah, in touch with us. Right. We'll get you in touch with Rod. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never done it, you need to do it at least once. I tell everybody, because the parents get the biggest kick is, I'll tell you a story. The other night, we had doing Lambert's. Last week. That was Saturday, I guess it was. And I'm there from 1 to 5, in the afternoon. And it's usually the Saturday before Christmas. So, people are traveling, and it's just cool. So they're not, hardly any of them from Sykeston. It's just, don't know them. They don't know me. And, that was yesterday. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden these ladies all start piling in. And they just keep coming, and there was a bus of ladies all decked head to toe in Christmas attire, I guess, with lights and antlers and the whole bit. Oh yeah, drove down from Chicago just to
eat at Lambert's.
What?
Yeah.
See, you were telling us that story early. I didn't catch. I missed Chicago.
They're from Chicago.
Chicago?
Yeah, and that's what I said. You come to eat Lambert's? She goes, yes. And said, then we're going to stop at Boomland and get some lottery tickets on the way home.
Oh, I was trying to get something done. Y'all were talking about it. I only caught a piece of that. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And I said, well, that's
were they spending the night?
No, they turned around. The bus pulled up. They got back on.
So what time? Probably afternoon. They had to probably leave about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
It's 8 or 9 hours for sure to get up there, isn't it?
It's
to Chicago.
6
or. Is it
I really don't want to say that, but it's 6 to 7 hours. It really is. It really is. I know. Yeah. I know. Now, if they stop, and it can be.
That's
8
what
hours.
I said. And it's a bus.
It could. So. Yeah, it could be for sure.
But they were very festive. They were going around, and. They were bringing. Some of them had grandkids. They were bringing them to.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah,
that's cool.
It was really fun, and because there's been. I mean, I've done it for years out there, so there's been some days it's not been very busy, or it's grown ups. It's grandma and grandpa going somewhere, and they're like, hey,
I figured now that you put it out there, people may make a trip.
That's what I said. They may do it, but it was awesome yesterday. That was really fun. I told my wife last night. I said that and it was mostly adults, Now,
does Teresa ever go with you at all?
No, she's. I've been begging her. But she's.
Tell her you get her a Mrs. Claus outfit.
She is not. I called her. Was it? Well, when I ordered my Coca-Cola suit, I called her. I said, hey, what's your dress size? She goes, well, you need to know that. And I said, so get you Miss Claus. No. I think she will when she eventually retires, if I'm still doing this. And I think she will. She'd be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
She got the hair. Everybody talks to her out there anyway like that. They know, Little Livy, she asked her how the elves are and how the reindeer are.
Of course.
Out at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
So she plays along. And and I got to help her this year. She does the Children's Miracle Network and fundraiser. Oh, yeah. And I did Summer Santa, and we did a little photo shoot out there and tried to raise some money.
I think I've seen that. Yeah. I think I did see that.
Try to raise some money from it. Plus, I get to wear my Hawaiian stuff and
that's cool.
My fedora and stuff. And
I think one of my friends had posted on there that worked out there that was talking about.
And like I said, the employees have big kids. I mean, that's
of course
the thing,
of course.
But
How can you not love? I mean,
oh my gosh,
geez, you hear the bells and that just puts you in a good mood. I mean, how could that not put you in a good mood? Heck,
I'm gonna tell you what, you'd be surprised. I'd have to say the older women. I'm gonna watch myself here. Not the little girls. I'll put it that way. The older women. They still have that thing for Santa. I mean, it's just there. And I mean, as soon as they see you, the smile's there.
Of course.
And they're like, hi. I mean, they're so excited. And you know, like I said, adults are just big. Everybody's a kid.
Absolutely. When you see Santa,
you're just either big or you're small.
Well, it takes you back to when you're a kid.
Yeah, it does. And
everybody loved
now,
it.
Let me get a question for you guys.
All right.
Let's say, where were you when you found out that Santa...
About Santa?
About Santa.
I don't know if I remember, really.
Man, I was...
to me, that's a thing like when you know, the OJ deal happened, or I mean, you know...
No, I do. I was...
the towers, you know, I mean,
yeah.
To me.
I was in third grade, and somebody told me, and I didn't believe him at first.
Me neither.
I remember I didn't believe the stories. I still believe in Santa. What are you talking about?
I was going to say, what are you talking about? I went home... And we talked about this just a minute ago, or before we started. I went home and asked my mom about it. And I said, Mom, this wasn't verbatim, but I said, tell me about Santa. And she was like, well, why do you want to know? And kind of talked about it. And then she said, now there was a man named Chris Kringle.
Yeah.
And he helped kids that were, in a bad situation or unfortunate, and he brought them presents and had it in a bag, and that's where this came from. But this is what Chris Kringle did, and so that's where it came from. And he said, well, you know, Mom and Dad have been Santa, but you know, talked about the spirit of it and stuff like that. And so
I'll tell you mine, you'll laugh, but I was in my backyard. It's crazy. I can remember this. I was in my backyard. I was in 4th grade. David Jones is in 5th grade, and he tells me.
Oh yeah,
and so I blame him.
Every chance you get.
Every chance I get.
Oh, next time I see him, I'm gonna say you
ruined
big bully
for Santa. But you know, one of the things we always say, kind of our Santa's motto: in order to receive, you have to believe.
Yes.
And one of my big things is, let kids be kids. Santa's a fraction of their childhood.
Yep.
And
that's just after having, of course, he's 21.
He's 21.
I couldn't agree with you more, Micah. What do you? I mean,
I totally agree. Let a kid believe his
just let them be a kid, man. Who cares?
They're already rushed to be adults.
Yes.
With
social media and everything else.
They can't wait to get their own cell phone. They can't. Let them be kids.
Let them be innocent
and and have the fun of it. And the twinkle in the eye. And everything. And I had a story from last year. Family called me, and she goes, this will probably be it. But I want to have a home visit on Christmas Eve. And I said, okay. And said she's 12. And I said, okay. And she goes, yeah, she still believes. She absolutely believes. Well, I get to there, and there's probably 25 adults, and she's the youngest at 12. But when she saw me, it was just like, oh, Santa's here. It immediately just like she was a little girl again. And she was taller than me. but we sat on the couch and we visited and everything. Well, and I noticed on her mom's social media when I, set up with her, it was her birthday. She has a December birthday. And I said, hey, was your birthday good? She goes, my birthday? And I said, yeah. I said, Santa knows everything.
Awesome.
And she gave me a big hug and she goes, yeah, I had a great day. It's like,
that's awesome.
So that part, when now they're, now that they know and they're on, that's the tough part.
But you always have clients.
Oh, I'm going to get new clients every year. I get new babies.
Oh, yeah.
If you go on my Facebook page, I work with 5 different photographers in Jackson. Basically, I work Jackson, Toon-Sykeston, East Prairie, all over. And they're wonderful. I mean, some of the ones that I've had this year have been, I mean, I'm getting better at it.
Sure.
It's an act. I mean, you just gotta,
of course,
and you got to learn your photographer too, what they want, and what you can't just put on the suit. That's what I try to tell people all the time.
Yeah.
There's a difference in putting on the suit.
It's a persona.
And being Santa.
That's right.
It's a big difference.
Oh,
and I've really studied it, and
you can tell.
And I try, and that's why I said, if my thinking, if I'm going to charge you money to put stuff back into this thing, I'm going to give you everything I got. My wife, my wife will tell you that. I'm going to have the best baseball equipment. I'm going to
exactly
whatever. I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
and it's amazing when people see my suit that have not seen one for the first time. They're like, oh my gosh.
Speaking of the Christmas list, I mean, like, what are the Cardinals? Can you bring up the pitching?
Man, that may be tough.
Oof.
Yeah. There's
no pitchers made in North Pole either.
They're circling the wagon right now.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know. That's kind of, they've dug a hole, and it's going to be tough to get out of that. I think we're probably 2-3 years away before we really.
Well, at least win some games.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, to put people in the stands. And,
yep.
I think the fans kind of made a statement this year, though.
Uh-huh.
I've never really remember the Cardinals advertising for season tickets to be sold.
We went in September. We always go to, my buddy Ty Tucker is a Reds fan. So we always try to go when the Reds come to town, and they usually do a matinee. And so we always try to go to that game and take an afternoon off when it's a noon game, whatever.
Right.
We go up there. There was more Reds fans than there was Cardinals fans.
Oh, I'm sure. Because they were still in the playoff race.
Yeah, they were. And I'm like, this is crazy. In St. Louis, there's more Cincinnati people.
Yep.
I was like, man.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to act like they want to put a product on the field.
That's exactly right. That's what we were talking about. You can't throw the farm team out there and expect to win.
Yeah, exactly. Can't put the 7th grade team out there when we're playing varsity.
No.
Just not going to work.
Can't bring a knife to a gunfight. Kind of what it's been like for, seems like a couple of years. But anyway.
You got some more questions for us, Santa? Are you good? Is that it?
No, I think that's it on me.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
listen, we've touched on everything.
Okay.
Is there any last anything that you've forgotten about we want to mention?
No.
We got to hit us with a ho 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 before we go.
I was going to ask for a ho ho ho.
I'll do that too. But
okay.
One thing I wanted to tell you though, you talked about legacy. Christmas is not about gifts.
That's right.
We talked about that a little bit about receiving gifts. It's about how much love we give.
Yep.
And that's always been my goal.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I get emotional talking
That's
about
all right. That's all right.
A little bit, but they're only kids. Like I said, they're only kids for a while.
Yeah.
You gotta love them the best you can, and and that's what I try to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. That's special.
I had a pastor once said, "You're most like Jesus when you give." Exactly. That's what he did.
Oh man, exactly. How good is that? Yeah. That's terrific.
And I try to, and like I said, when I'm in front of them, I give them everything I got.
Oh yeah.
Try to. Then when they kind of get bored with me, and I the home visits, I'll tell you a little bit about them. People think, oh man, it's not bad at all. If you're in Sykeston, it's $50. I'm 15-20 minutes. I come in, take pictures. And some of the stories I forgot to tell you about is they put the presents outside.
Oh yeah.
And over the years, I've learned, not try to get shot, but in the dark,
the neighbors,
and everybody's got cameras now. Yeah, but neighbors or whatever. But they put them out in a special place and take a picture and then text it to me. So then that way I'm not looking. Try to find it or whatever.
Rummaging through the garage or something.
So they throw that in there. But anyway, and then I can get in.
Yeah.
And take it in. But I had one year, and I told her, and this is the first year I got my bells. So and it was new. I think this was her first year too that I did this house. And I told her, I said, put them outside. Didn't explain very well. Just put them outside, whatever. She put them right by the front door. In a black trash bag,
in the dark,
and a little bit of light on, and here's my bells, jing, 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 jing. Here I come up the steps. So I'm transferring and it was a big toy. It wasn't just it was like a chair, I think. It was one of those springy things.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't a big one, but it was for a little girl. And I'm trying to transfer it into my bag. Of course, can't get it to fit and everything. And she hears me.
The little girl.
She hears me. Door opens, flies open, and she goes, "Santa!" I just went with it.
Oh yeah.
I just like, "Hey!" And I'm like, "Look what I got you!"
Oh my god.
Because I couldn't get in there. and then I had one last year that they had. I mean, I think they left everything for Santa to bring in.
Oh, geez.
And I said, I just left it out on the front porch in my bag. I got it in my bag, but I couldn't
pick it up
in and walk upstairs and everything. You got to think, I dodge dogs.
Oh my gosh!
You got
like
everybody.
The mailman.
Hey, you can't just park in front of the house.
You can't, and that's the thing. I have to park down. One of the cutest pictures I had a client that did a house visit at out in Greenbrier. And luckily the streets aren't real bright down there, and I parked a couple of streets down. But she got a picture after I left. They all went to the front door, and they're like this. And she got a picture from the back. It's one of the most awesome pictures. But
that's cool.
But and then one year I did one in Cape. You know how Cape is, and it was kind of out off of Lexington out that way. And and they were having a party. It was a youth group, and
right.
And they were having a party, and I was like, I'll park a couple of things down. I stopped, and that's before I had my bells. I think it's been a while. Everything rolls pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
But
there ain't no sneaking up now.
No, not now. But anyway, I'm walking up, and I'm thinking, man, that's cool ornaments they got in their yard. I'm getting ready to cut through the yard. There's light and whatever, and I said, man, that deer looks. About that time, it went pow. It was a real deer.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, speaking of deer, I got to thinking this morning when I watched Rudolph at 5:30.
Oh my gosh!
So, did Santa use reindeer before Rudolph, or was that?
Well, if you go back and read,
I knew you were a historian, so I kind of.
They used horses first.
Did they? Okay.
And then they went. Then they
went to flying reindeer.
They went to flying reindeer. Yeah.
Ah. Well, I mean, he's got.
Was that before Rudolph? Though?
Yeah, that was before Rudolph, and then Rudolph was added in the '60s, I think.
Yeah,
like that. So,
no, I mean, he's got to. They got to fly. He's got.
Yeah,
he's got to.
Man, I'm telling you what, you're taking off right now from Australia.
Exactly. Yeah, you better get started,
Yeah.
Santa.
Oh my gosh.
You're. I know it's coming up on the busy season for you.
And 20 questions everywhere I go.
Oh yeah.
Like especially the schools. Where's your reindeer?
Oh yeah.
And the best thing I've got, like I've been using, because everybody knows the complex. So I tell them, I say, oh, they're out there grazing the complex. And
at the end of the airport.
At the end of the airport, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where you take off.
Because I think they're not going to be, there's no way they're going to figure it out. So that's kind of what I'm. But I do. I get 20 questions almost every. You got to be on your toes.
Oh my gosh!
I got one story that comes to mind. One year we were was doing a house visit, and the boy had been. Again, he's 10, I think, and Mama.
So he's on the edge.
He's already hearing it at school, and Grandma and Mom want him to believe.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm in. I'm in. I'll do whatever. She said he'll freak when you knock on the door. So I knock on the door, and Grandma would put the present outside. So I put it in my bag. Come in, and there's a lady outside, and I wave at her next door. She's like, "Hey, Santa." So they know, they know what I'm doing. And I parked a couple of doors down. Anyway, get in, and I mean, he's lit up. He's like, "Yeah, come in."
Oh my!
So we go in, everything's good. School, yeah. Baseball player. So we talk a little bit, and I said, "Hey, I think I got something in here. It's an early present. And we're about 5 days away." I said. Give you an early present before. He said, okay, that's cool. And so he gets it out, opens it up. Grandma wrapped it in an Amazon box.
She what?
She wrapped it in an Amazon box.
Oh, they're working for us now.
Oh.
So, and he's like, an iPad. Well, he knows what Amazon is.
Uh-huh.
So, and she's behind him going, I'm sorry. And I said, well, my elves have trouble with electronics sometimes. So we do have to call Amazon. He's like, oh, okay. And I mean, when you gotta be on your toes.
Oh my gosh!
With 1,000 questions. I had one where I'm doing multiple stops a night, and the first house had toys and stuff, whatever. Well, something fell out of like a baby, a little baby bottle or whatever. Well, when I go to another house, it ended up in somebody's bag.
Oh
somebody's
my
bag.
gosh!
So, and they're pulling it out, and like nothing that goes with whatever they got, and she was quick, like Mom was, and said, "Well, maybe you're getting a baby doll for Christmas." And she's like, "Oh, okay." You got to be ready.
Oh my gosh! You should have said, "Oh, we had to fire some elves."
Somebody's in trouble.
Buddy was at it again.
Buddy was at it again. Hey, I know him.
I get that more than
I love
anything.
I love it.
I get the Santa, screaming.
Oh yeah,
adults and the movies. And, I know him.
Oh, I love it. But I love it. Well, how long do you think we've been going?
I don't know. Probably an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Okay, that's good.
Hour 35. Yeah.
That's good.
So, you got to hit us with a ho ho ho, and then we're going to end with Go Dogs.
We're gonna go. I'm Mike.
Oh
Harris.
yeah.
I'm Mike Harris.
I'm Matt Tanner.
Ho ho ho. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.